The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Tiger Technician Hour with your host, Basil Chapman. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Now, Basil Chapman.
And we're looking at the Dow actually pulling back from over a 500-point overnight gain. The Dow is now up 34. Let me just get to that right now. Here we go. Say back in the saddle, but I'm working with a situation where I can't get the timing right for the breaks, but hopefully my producer has done a great job in the first part. We can continue that. 42,130 for the Dow, up 33. The S&P. There we go. S&P right now is giving back most of the gains, up 22 at 59.10. The QQQ Index 100 trading vehicle is now up $1.60 after being up really at a new recovery high at 52.6.48. It's now at 520.26. Let's go to the IWM. The IWM, the Russell 2000, is now only up 10 cents, 7 cents, 6 cents, 5 cents, 3 cents, 2 cents, 1 cent, boom, negative, at 205.47. Turning around the corner as they race around the corner, and we've got the, here we're going to go, we've got the dollar, DXY, the dollar is down 40 cents. The gold should be moving up a little bit. Yep, it's up 19 at 3,342. Now, one of the reasons why we kept the dollar, our position in the dollar, is that 9-period moving average has been pretty good as a leading indicator for the indices, but for the Dow, for the gold, it did go negative. But that 9-period moving average in the weekly chart is still so strong, and that to me is really important. I'm going to get to the others in a moment. I do want to get to silver. This particular point, silver's giving back a little bit, but it's still up 10 cents at 33,027. Those silver, some of the silver stocks have done very well. We have a silver stock that did really well. It got to that leg D. We've taken a little bit off, as we always do at D's. Well, not always, but almost always. And now what we're going to go to do is the high-grade copper. High-grade copper is trading unchanged at 4.68. Let us go to crude oil. Crude oil right now is trading down $1.07 at 60.76. Let's go to bonds. Those bonds, they're up half a point. Thank goodness, 112.5. I don't want the yields to get in the way of everything else. There's just so much going on. I don't want to be thinking about that. Meantime, back at the ranch, what we're looking at is certain stocks are already giving clues. For instance, GE made a round number. Does that mean it's a major top? I don't know whether it's a major top, but it's just a hint to say, for a couple of days, I've seen some round numbers. We made an exact high of 246, all-time high yesterday, 0.00, and we're down $1.33 at 242.34. Now, we've been long GE for quite some time. Taking a little bit off because that's just part of what we do. And at this particular point, I'm watching, this is a major leg A in the weekly chart. That is fantastic. There are a couple of other aspects that I'd be looking at, but I do want to go to, for instance, Robinhood. There's this whole thing that I talk about for over a year now, that there are so many times we've seen double tops, almost to the penny sometimes. So what do? We go, Robinhood goes 66.91, February, the week of the 10th of February of this year. Then it plunges down to the 30 level. Whoa, wait a minute. It more than doubles. It goes back to where? Did it go back to the 66s? Well, what did it do? It went to, on the 23rd, it went to 60, if I can read it, 67.13. Let me type that in. So we've got a potential, just a potential, we're along this, 67.17, to see whether or not this kind of double top action is something to at least commemorate, or at least to take note of and be cognizant of the fact that the double bottoms and double tops have been quite potent in this particular market for quite some time. Doesn't mean that you have a major pullback. No, we've seen that sometimes you make the double tops, you pull back a little bit, and then you take that out. But in this particular instance, I'm just watching it because Robinhood is very much an indicator of what we look at. That reminds me, I forgot to do the Bitcoin. Did I do Bitcoin now, or did I skip that out? Yeah, Bitcoin, BTC. Bitcoin is trading. Did I lose all that information? How on earth could I have lost all that? Oh, did Bitcoin split? Wait a minute. BTC. That is Bitcoin, right? Something happened. Down 59,000. They must have split. I got all the notation again, everything. Darn. It's at 12,083. We actually have IBIT, which is the Bitcoin. There, thank goodness, that's still intact. So talking about the double tops, so another reason why we went short for the first time in ages since April the 7th, where we started to go long, back into long positions, and we took off of the short positions in that early April period. This is the first time. So we went into the short, the IWM the other day, very briefly. Got a little bit of a gain, a little bit of a loss. Then I said, all right, let's skip this. But I am anticipating, I've been talking about this for some time. I was anticipating that at some point in May, towards the end of the month, that we should see some kind of toppy action. And maybe the first part of June is really kind of sloppy. I don't know whether that's the case, but look at this, 61.75 in Bitcoin back in, was that December or January? That was the week of December the 13th. It comes tumbling down to the 44 area, and then what does it do? It's a 50% gain, and it goes back to where? On the 22nd of May, it goes to 63.28. Okay, 63.28. Is that a double top? Not exactly, but look at this. The close on a weekly basis, 61.75. What was the closing price last week? 63.70. So it hasn't taken out that 61.75. I'm just watching it. I'm saying, the market shot up last night saying, the tariffs are off. Tariffs are not off. I can't see the president just giving up on it, everything saying, no. I think it now comes back that period of uncertainty. Who knew that it would do? Who knew that you'd get a 500-point move last night? And now the Dow is up 3 points. So I'm just saying, as far as I'm concerned, this is now a period where it's a little bit uncertain. And because it's uncertain, it means that within the context of everything that I'm looking at least, you can anticipate now that the upside would have to have something really, really fantastic to follow through, to break, and to go to the all-time highs that were made earlier this year. And as far as I'm concerned, this is a period now where I don't think I want to put on new positions. I want to monitor the positions that we have. And if we're successful in the short position that we initiated today, we'll see what happens. But I need the close today, and I need Friday's candle in the weekly charts to give me some kind of sense of what's going on. I'll be back in a moment. Basil Chapman, Ignitions Hour on this Thursday, the 29th of May.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Folks, we're back. I did find it. It's Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin's up 250 at 107,970. I don't know what happened there. It showed it that it was cut in half, more than half. Anyway, I've got this as a peak F in the daily chart. The 9's still very strong over the 14. I've got the MACD just went negative. The relative strength has just gone, it's not that good. It's been weakening over the last week or so. The stochastic is down under 80% at 78.84, and the on-balance volume is still very strong. The weekly charts are still very good. Stochastic's at 89%. So that's why I'm saying I believe that this is an opportunity for the market to take a breather. It's fooled longs and shorts. Fortunately, we've been on the right side of this, just except for that one moment where we got caught. Well, actually, we had a very good profit in it, but I did want to give it a little room, so we're out of that. And now we've gone back to the short side, a small short side, but it's you have to tiptoe here because I don't want those overnights. Can you imagine last night? You know, if you were short and you're watching the S&P up huge and the Dow is up huge, Qs are up even more because of NVIDIA. Let's go to NVIDIA right now. First of all, let's go to the SMHs. The SMH right now started off really nicely, made a new recovery high, went to 249.21. Oops, it's now up $1.60 at 243.98. So 9 is still very strong. Now, this is a part of the technique that I should do this tomorrow, where it is Technical Friday, where we do Chapman wave notations in greater detail, but that's okay. What I'll do right now is I'm going to talk about the pattern that we're looking at. So look, in the SMHs, you did go to, I must just double check. I don't want to do this too quickly. I think it might have just missed it. So the high on the 14th of May was 249.44. Yeah, we just missed it today by 25 cents. And so it's like a little double topish action. And if you look at the MACD, there was a little hiccup right there, but that If you look at this 914, our wonderful benchmark indicator, that is still very strong. And there was just a little hiccup here when you went to that M-shaped pattern. I'll talk about that in a moment. In fact, I do want to talk about it a lot in this particular show today because it's so important. But the MACD has gone to minus 0.17. First time it's gone negative since it crossed positive way back in the beginning of April. So that's something to monitor. Stochastics down under 80% at 78.38. On balance volume, the blue line is not very good. Relative strength is starting to weaken. But the weekly chart, now this is fascinating because today we've just, we're looking at this, we've got 2 days to go, 2 full days, right? We've got today and tomorrow, and that 9-period moving average flipped to positive L. That's long, just this indicator, not the whole thing. I'm just saying that. So I'm going to be watching it at Friday's close. What happens? Does it still stay that way? But in the meantime, warning, that's all it is, warning. Now the Dow's down 18, S&P is only up 9. We're looking at the NVIDIA up 4.75 at 139.59. It just comes out. I mean, you can't stop this. It's just, look at that. Peak D goes to a peak E right there, E. All right. And then it goes to, I'm calling that an F. So because I've got so many of these E's and F's, I'm saying that once again, it's just a matter of using Chapman wave notation. Yes, we did. Look, yes, GE made a peak G/C after the instant restart there. But because the 9-period moving average was so strong above when it was at peak D, and the MACD was so strong, my guess is that I've got to be a little bit concerned right here that there could be a G/C, a pullback, and then maybe a retest of the 246 high to give you either a G/C1 and then a C2, but a kind of a failure pattern, because if it smashes and goes right through to the 248, 250 area, that's a breakout. That is really strong. So as I'm looking at it right now, all of the Chapman wave notations, all of the techniques that I use. Now, let me go back because now I can take some time. Look, here is the Dow. You see this MACD, that green line, and then it pulls back, and then you have a little bit of a pop to the upside. Well, that pop to the upside says that's the M-shaped pattern. And it's fading in the MACD because the MACD has just gone negative. It's fading in the stochastic. It's fading in the on-balance volume. And the reason why I didn't want to go, I didn't want to start any short positions until I found that this M-shaped pattern had the potential either to break sharply to the upside, it could be a recycle, or fail, and we don't know that yet. I'm watching this closely. Look at the S&P. Look, it's the same thing. And we haven't taken out the high of 5968.61 made a week and a half ago. We're starting to pull back, but look, the MACD's just gone weak. The relative strength is not that weak, but it's weakening. The stochastics at 75%, under the 80%, on balance volume is weak. Those monthly charts are still fabulous. And here again, you finally got the, after going from 48.35 all the way to 59.68, you've got this weekly 9-period moving average with 2 days to go, L, meaning that particular very important indicator flipped to positive. The MACD did that 2 weeks ago. The stochastics at 75% of the weekly. That on-balance volume has me worried. It is not really following through. And look at the monthly chart. It looks fantastic so far. Now, I got to go to the QQQ because that was stronger. Look, it had just a more flattening than anything else. And then it went to that, look, here's the instant restarts. I had questions about, is the instant restart failing you? There's no such thing as failing me. The instant restart is just something that I notate. I've done it for decades, not years, but decades, where I get an instant restart, meaning at a peak D within 3 bars, it makes a higher high. I think to myself, E/A in the next higher move, F/G, So F/B and G/C. And very often, when I say very often, I mean a majority of the time, you'll get a little cup or V-shaped formation to get you to the D, which we've already done. And there was a round number high just recently. So let's see what we've got today. We've got our D right there. There it is. So it's just a warning. 526.48 was the high, above the 523 round number from a week ago. And now we've got, and I always put a plus sign on a D because there's no H. So G says you have to restart. So this is a D. And the weekly chart is in a V-shaped pattern going straight up in this gray leg A because the stochastic has to get to 80% before I can make it blue. But it's fantastic. And the monthly chart looks very good. So all I'm saying is that I'm just anticipating we have some choppiness here. And that's how we play it. Question is, could I look at SCO? SCO, and that is the short, the crude oil. Let me just read you. I always notate this, and then what happens, the 3 times shorts or longs, they get the price at the end of the day gets readjusted. And it gets readjusted when it's 3 times quite heavily. So this is the ultra short Bloomberg crude. All right, so we're looking at it. So this is where it becomes a kind of a tough call. Look, let me just do this. If you don't mind, I'm just going to go to crude oil for a second. I want to show you the inverse. This is crude oil, and you can see the monthly chart is making the arch pattern that goes from an H.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Tiger Technicians Hour is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit direction.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at direction.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
I cannot hear. I can talk. So my producer's helping me along. So let's do this. So crude oil is trading down $1. Now, one of the things that I'm looking at is the patterns that repeat over and over. So this particular pattern says that it keeps making these H patterns and then it keeps coming back to lower lows and lower highs. This is going to be very important because that 9-period moving average in the daily chart of crude oil continuous contract is still positive. It is very close to turning down. Look, the green line right there and the black line, it's kind of being hugging it, and therefore we have to wait to see what happens. But that MACD hasn't yet crossed negative, and the retro strength is pulling back, but not seriously. Stochastic's down quite sharply. It's down at 58%, and that volume, on balance volume, is just very, very weak. So this is what I'm going to say to you. I know that you also watch, Dan, you're watching the crude oil, but this is most important. If the low that was made 4 sessions ago is at 60.02, if crude oil closes under 59.70, today's Thursday, by Monday, without breaking today's high of 63.07, that would suggest to me that you've got low. Let me just talk about that in terms of patterns that we always look at. I said it'll be a little bit part of the Friday show, Technical Friday. The lowercase h, so I always look at 3 core patterns: straight up, straight down, cup formation, arch formation, mix of 1 and 2 and 1 and 3. This is 1 and 3, and you can see we've already made the H pattern, lowercase h, but it held the left side low. So now it's in for the second. That says the lowercase h can go to a lowercase m. But this is the one where if this starts to drop and it takes out this particular low at any point in the next week and a half, this low of 54.83. Wow. Then you got to watch this low very closely, the low of the 9th of April, which is 54.01. Take 50, take the first one out, that left side low, 50, make it 54. If crude oil goes to 53.60, that's going to be, I think, a problem for both crude oil, but it might also be a problem for the market in the sense that even though there was some pretty good economic news today, it's just going to suggest that there's a lot more weakness than has been at least acknowledged in the general market. So there's the pattern. So I've given you the parameters. I'll just say for a moment, the SCO, which is the inversion, has a trend line right here. That's a little high. So I always say, all right, go to the most hit peaks. And in this case, I feel very comfortable with this. So that just says if there's a close in SCO, is at 20.61, up 47 cents right now. But I'm saying a close, not just a hit, but a close above 29. Let's call it 21. It just has to get into the 21s. And that says that crude oil is going to probably go down quite a bit deeper. I hope that helps you. And it certainly helped me because I've been wanting to do a little bit of work. Whoops, I wanted to do a little work on the crude oil, and that just helped me do it. And I'm just going to check to see that I'm switching windows. Right. Okay. Retracements, okay. Okay, value of the Chapman. Okay, thank you, Mr. Bull. Value of the Chapman wave, even on 1 minute options, yes. So, all right, now let's do something else that I wanted to do for a little while. Of course, I was away, so I didn't do it. I wanted to just talk about the volatility index for a moment. So the VIX index, I'd say this area in the right there. So I was still here that day. So that's the 16th. Okay. Yeah, the area of the 17s was very, very critical. And I had said that if there is a move into the now I've got to remember, I believe I said 23.90 to 24.20 area. it'll be the hint that the Dow, especially if the Dow and the S&P are down sharply, Dow's down over 300 points and the S&P is down the equivalent, that would be one thing. But I said it has to be 2 days in a row. And you have to see not a retracement in the VIX index going back into the 19s. It needs to stay there. That would hint that we've now got a short-term sell-off that could start to build momentum. Well, we haven't got that. It ran to 25.50, really, 25.53 on the 23rd, and then it gave it all back. Now we're down. We actually is running today up 2 cents, but it's in the 1933 area. So let me just repeat that again. The VIX index, the volatility index, if it gets to 2490 to 2520, closes there, it has to do it for a second day. Can it do it with 1 day break and then do it another day? Yeah, but the pullback in the day in between mustn't go back to the 19s or the 20 area. It has to remain up in that high level area. So that's what I'm looking at now. Buying is going to keep coming in, and that's the reason why I'm saying we've taken a very small position in the short side. We haven't yet changed the long side of anything just yet. We've taken little bits off on every big gain. And that's just the thing that we do. So all I'm saying is that I'm looking at this, the expectation almost all month was that if we start to rally strongly, we could see a rally into the end of May or just about the end of May. And the first part of June is what I'm going to monitor very closely, because if we start to pull back sharply in the first week of June, it says, okay, we've got 2 or 3 weeks of this kind of action. We don't have that yet. This is just a work in progress in terms of giving a sense of what can be. I had a question about, what was it, a UEC. Yeah, UEC is Uranium Energy Core. This time we're not in it at all. It has had a very nice rally. It spiked up to the $7.13 on the 27th of May. Given quite a bit back, it's now up. It's down 20 cents at $6.11. So the 200-period moving average of 6.03, let's call it 6 for the moment. No, 6.03 is 6.03. If it closes under 590, that's going to be the magnet line to say that it could hug that and go a little above and a little below. But if it starts to pull back sharply and goes under $5.70, closes under 570, then it says this is done for at least the short term. It's still a work that is a sector that's been very favorably received. This is uranium energy because of things that have been said. But if you look at the URNM, that is the chart of the spot uranium miners ETF. And let me just, before I forget, let me just go back to my. Is that for now? I'm not sure. No, I don't think so. I think we're still on. Just tell me if this is fresh. I haven't seen it. 20 seconds, 10 seconds? No. All right. Thank you. So GSC went to the D. Yep, it is. I'm out. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
So with the market right now, the Dow's down 4, S&P's up 17. I had a question about Basil. Is the pullback you're referring to in the Traders Corner? That's my newsletter. The summer pullback or a small one with more room to run on the weekly charts and a bigger pullback in July, August. So let me just sum this up very briefly. As I see it, and I'm going to just talk purely technically now, and then I'm going to elaborate and talk about what could be. You know, we're all about what could be, but the charts are the charts. If you're looking at the weekly chart, let's just go to the Dow. See, the 9-period moving average in the weekly chart hasn't yet gone green. And we saw that in the S&P, but look at this. The Dow is still a little bit weak here. The MACD, in fact, still hasn't crossed positive, and it's about to. It's very close. And the stochastic is only at 65%. That I call a work in progress because it hasn't confirmed at least I could call this a buy signal because it's had such a spectacular move from the 36,600s to where we are even now at 42,100s. But the monthly chart is really looking much, much better than it was this time, not this time, say about 6 weeks ago. But if you go to the S&P, purely on a technical basis, because you asked about the weeklies and the monthlies, look, that crossed 9-period moving average, crossed positive. The MACD is positive. The stochastic's very close to 80% and 76%. That is, and look at that monthly chart. That is really good. So here the S&P is saying, I'm holding really well thus far. It'll change the pattern if at 59.08 right now, it starts to trade. And these are big numbers, but I have to use the big numbers because that's the only thing that'll change it. If it goes down below 57.30, right? I mean, that's a long way down, but it can happen. Could even happen in a day. We never know in this particular market. But right now is looking good, and the weekly is looking good. The QQQ, this is the Index 100 trading vehicle. Look at this. Made a new recovery high today. It went to 526.48. It's way off that right now. But look at this weekly chart. I remember what I did just a moment ago in the charts we were looking at. I said I'm going to skip this particular breakout because so many candles have this trend line. It's the same thing here in the weekly chart. So I'm using this as my trend line to say, okay, that's just a barometer for me. But at this particular point, this is still a huge single leg 8 to the upside. And the 9-period moving average for 2 weeks has been positive, and the monthly chart looks still pretty darn good. So all I can say is, as I'm looking at it, I'm looking for shakiness, I'm looking for instability, and it's going to be rotational. And some of the big winners might start to pull back, and some of the others might take over. I don't see a major smash at this particular point to the downside, talking about the weekly charts, and I don't yet see it later. But there are other things in the psychology that builds up when one has done this for decades that says to me, there's going to be a point, and I can't say fairly soon, but there's going to be a point this summer, meaning from June, where I think we get a sudden, much sharper decline than the charts at this particular point are focusing on. And that's the only reason why I'm saying we've started a short position. We might add to it. It's still very young. All the positives are still there. I'm just anticipating something. So I hope that helps you. Even if you look at the 914s in the QQQ, look, to get that 914 to go from green to pink, you'd have to see the QQQ at the 480 level. It's at 521 right now. So it's going to be a lot of things that do it, and that's just the daily chart. So I'm just emphasizing, don't think, oh man, after such a big move, we're going to have a massive decline. No, let's just go one thing at a time. FXI is a question. Oops, I better just check to see if I'm going to run out of time here. All right, we should have a break fairly soon, but we haven't got it yet. FXI is stalling at that peak F. That wasn't an instant restart, even though there was a leg E within 2 bars of the D, because we went under it, and we've gone under it again. So that's negated. That says this is more likely like an F. But if you look at the weekly chart here again, very strong. If anything, it just goes sideways for a little while. XPEV was a question. XPEV. Xpeng, I'm still practicing to say that. Designed to develop, manufacture smart EVs is down sharply from that peak C that we notated just the other day. Or was I not here when it suddenly popped? It went to 22 in the 2270s. It's now 20.17. Yeah, it's just kind of going sideways. The 9-period moving average has gone pink in the daily chart, but still very strong in the weekly chart. Yeah, I believe this is Xpeng is very important, and it's all I can say is that, let me just give you BYDDF. I think that's the chart. Yeah, BYDDF is bid company. This is the shares, Chinese EVs and batteries. It made a peak E, a leg E this month. It went to a peak E in the weekly chart, and this is a DEF. And a peak F, and now it's from the 61 area, is pulled back quite sharply to 51. So as I see it, at this particular time, this is still the leader in the Chinese order, everything to do with the Chinese in terms of the EV. And I think that is very important, because it is showing you that leadership can remain as leadership as it has here. I mean, regardless of what has happened to Tesla, look, Tesla is still one of the major American car companies in the EV area. And here it is, up 7.5 at 364 at this particular time. I'm calling this a leg F. Once again, that cannot be an instant restart because you took out that left side low. Now, maybe tomorrow I'll have time. I don't want to do it right now, but it could become an unconventional Chapman wave, unconventional flat-based restart, which says no matter how high you go in this particular phase, you're going to come back and test 331.39, the low of the 22nd of May. I haven't got a confirmation of that yet. I am going to put it in because it has all the characteristics, and I always go a bump up against the that's right, against the backdrop there. I say, okay, by about June the 12th to the 15th, there could be a test of the 331 area. That's just the way I'm looking at it right now. Okay, and that is Tesla, but it's a very nice move in the weekly chart for 3 weeks, 2 weeks. It's had a 9-period moving average that's positive. So let me just, as we're going to go to a break in a short while. Question came in. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. You didn't do GDX. Sorry, GDX. There we go. GDX right now is trading down 18 cents at 50.16. Peak A, peak B. It did just nick to a peak C, but it's got the sideways pattern that says manganese good, stochastics at 86%. Retro strength is good. 9 is good. So I'm going to say that was an A, B. Oh, it's at a D. So there it is, an A, peak A. And there's the D, and we're in a break. I'll be back in a moment.
This year has already been a wild ride for the market. We started off heavily in the red, traversed back to all-time highs, and we now have a trade war looming. Trying to play this chop as an individual trader leads to death by 1,000 cuts. Where does this market go next? Should I add to this position or cut my losses? Where is the next opportunity? Tariffs? Trade wars? Analysis paralysis. Don't become a victim of this intense market. Instead, join Larry Pesavento over the second and fourth Friday of every month for 3 hours of live trading. Larry has been through many markets just like this one, and the insight he provides is invaluable. The dates for this month are April 11th and 25th, 9 a.m. to noon Eastern Time. Get in here and let's start trading. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Hi, folks. So we're back. Basil Chapman, if it's a little bumpy, I'll be fixing that because of just the earphone that I've got. It's just not quite working. So just real quick, Vuzi, I watched this the other day, a couple of days ago. I was looking at it while I was away, and I thought, oh, this is looking fantastic. Then it had that red candle yesterday. Boom, today it's up again. It's trading at 317, up 46, up 17%, Vuzi Core. And then that question came in about ASPN. Where do I think that's going? Yeah, it must hold the 550s. It's at 596. I'll do a little more tomorrow. And then Boeing is looking fabulous. at a new recovery high, up almost $8 at 209.50. This is nice, and that's the reason why I'm saying you got to be so careful here, because if you're just in the wrong area or the wrong stock and you go long, you go short, anything can happen in this environment. And that's the reason why I'm doing just small positions of anything new that is maybe, if taking profits just a little bit off. Why? Because the strength is still there. And at the same time, on the short side, just a kind of an experiment to see. Everything says that there should be some digestive phase going to the end of this month. And then June normally I'd expect this early part of June to be somewhat choppy. So with that said, you can say, okay, within that context, let me just quickly see. You've got questions. I did that. Basil, if you still have time here, can you comment technically on ASPN? I just did that. Yeah, I'll do a little more tomorrow, but so far that it has to hold that support. And I think I'm about to wrap it up. I don't want to go through. I'm just flying without a radar right now. Okay, my engineer says I'm still on, so I'm on. Now, let me just do this. By the end of the day, the Dow's up 33. It has very quick moves. If the Dow at 1:30 this afternoon is up 120, we might have a kind of a nice up move. If it's down more than 50 points at 1:30, it says be careful, chop is coming in. Have a great day, and I will be back. I might be back with Jacob today if I can get things right. Have a great day.